Hi Year 11, this is our second lesson for the topic Further Functions for Extension 1 Mathematics. In this lesson we're going to look at the graphs of inverse functions. Last lesson we learnt about inverse relations, inverse functions, and finding the inverse function. Now a function and its inverse are symmetrical about the line y equals x. And we can see that here. So here we've got the graph of y is equal to f of x. And here's the graph of the inverse function. Can you see how it's reflected over that line? Here's an example. Sketch y is equal to 2x take away 1 and its inverse function. So we're going to start by forming the inverse function. We're going to swap the x and the y. So x is equal to 2y take away 1. Now let's make y the subject. 2y is equal to x plus 1. Divide both sides by 2. Y is equal to x plus 1 all over 2. Now when we sketch them, have a look. Here is our original function. Y is equal to 2x take away 1. Here's the inverse function. Y is equal to x plus 1 over 2. And you can see how it's reflected over the line y is equal to x. Now we learnt that not all inverses are functions. And if the inverse relation is not a function, we don't use this notation. So for example, look at the curve y equals x squared. When we form the inverse relation, we have x equals y squared. And that's this blue curve here. We can see that that is not a function. It would fail the vertical line test. But can you see that it is the reflection of this parabola over the line y equals x? Now recall that there are four basic types of relations. There's one-to-one, which is this one here. So any x value will map to exactly one y value. We have a one-to-many, which is this one here. This one's not a function. In this case here, we've got x is equal to 2, and it's mapping to two different y values. So one to many. We've got many-to-one, which is this one. In this case, -2 and +2 both map to the same y value. So many to 1. And then we have many-to-many, which is this one here. Now we learnt about the horizontal line test in advanced maths, and we use it to determine whether a function is one-to-one or not. But the horizontal line test is also really useful for figuring out if a function will have an inverse or not, because a function will only have an inverse if it passes the horizontal line test. So which of these two is going to have an inverse? This one is. It passes the horizontal line test. When we reflect it over the line y equals x, this is a function. This one won't. It fails the horizontal line test. When we reflect it over the line y equals x, it's not a function. Let's finish off with a past HSC question. The diagram shows the graph y equals f of x. Which diagram shows the graph of the inverse function? So let's draw in the line y equals x and reflect this over that line. What's the answer? Can you see it's D? Okay, that's it for this lesson. In our next lesson, we're going to look at domain and range.